preview show every Sunday, starting 30 minutes before our live broadcast. Get insight, analysis, and hear from your favorite players weekly, just before we bring you our feature broadcast for the day. Move from defense to attack and join us in the final third. This and every Sunday until the end of the JPL season.
Jamaica, make we do the right thing. Make we live good today for a better tomorrow. Talk it out, don't fight it out. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6:30.
Today, February 28, will go down in history as the first no-spend day in America, as people hit back at the big corporations who've abandoned their diversity, equity, and inclusion policies in the wake of pressure from the Trump administration. Big corporations like Amazon, Walmart, people boycotted shopping with them today. They've kept their money in their pocket, and they say going forward, if they have to spend, it will be from small businesses, minority-owned businesses. They're not feeding the beast who's turning around and turning their backs on workers who came through under DEI. I'll have that discussion today with two members of the diaspora who are fervent believers that if the big boys don't want to support us, we're not using our hard-earned cash to support them. This is Lead Story on CVM TV. Let's start the show. Well, the introductory graphic says it all. No DEI, no dollar. If we are not good enough for you to be hired in your companies, to get fair promotion, and to be brought in under DEI rules, then our money is not good enough for you. We'll keep our money in our pockets or we'll spend it elsewhere. That's the attitude from many Americans throughout the United States this afternoon, and from early this morning, from midnight this morning, as they push back against the corporations who've excised DEI rules and DEI facilitations under pressure from the Trump administration and the sign from the Department of Government Agency, Elon Musk and his boys. And they say, well, it was a proverbial middle finger, both hands to all of that today. Just before we go into the discussion, of course, it is proper to set the context for the discussion, to bring you in on what the issue is that prompted tens of thousands of Americans to keep their money in their wallets on this day in politics.
No Spend Day. Call it an unprecedented show of solidarity, but Americans across the United States are participating in a 24-hour economic blackout, a protest against the sweeping cuts to diversity, equity, and inclusion DEI programs imposed by several major companies. DEI are organizational frameworks that seek to promote a fair treatment and full participation of all people, particularly groups who have historically been underrepresented or subjected to discrimination. President Donald Trump, shortly after his inauguration, signed a series of executive orders targeting what his administration views as illegal private sector DEI preferences, mandates, policies, programs, and activities. This triggered a domino effect, with some of the country's largest corporations scaling back their DEI initiatives, which many view as essential for promoting diversity and inclusion in the workplace. In response, a growing number of citizens, influencers, and advocacy groups took to social media to organize a boycott of major retailers and online shopping platforms. The message was clear. If businesses can prioritize DEI, the people will show them the true cost of their decisions. With hashtags and videos circulating on social media with slogans like, "Hold your wallets, don't spend a penny," as influencers, activists, and concerned citizens alike called for a full 24-hour economic blackout, urging people to abstain from all their consumer activity in protest. In early January, one of the USA's top retailers, Target, announced it was pulling back on its diversity, equity, and inclusion DEI initiatives, including a commitment to expanding Black employee representation by 20%. People felt betrayed and immediately started to boycott the company. For many, this economic stand is more than a protest against corporate policy. It's a fight for equality, fairness, and justice. Protesters argue that the cuts to DEI programs are not only detrimental to workplace diversity, but also reflect a broader cultural pushback against inclusive practices that have taken years to build. So, will the boycott force businesses to reconsider their cuts? And will public pressure drive legislative action? Only time will tell. But for now, we discuss on Lead Story. Courtney Lewis for Lead Story.
Thank you very much. One of the most effective things to do, it has been proven. Vote or act with your wallet, and the rest will fall into place. After the break, I speak to two ladies to tell me about what they got up to on this day in history.
Music being made in Jamaica. It is always good to support the right energy, and we give thanks that this will continue and we will always support it.
It is our pleasure to support the culture works.
Our culture works, from Trenchtown we take it. I know a reggae mountain. One drop, one of a kind, say I coulda never dollar kind.
Energetically, there are spaces in this earth where you go there and your nervous system reacts very positively. And this mountain is such a space.
Strive with those that strive with me.
It's just history. It's how we grew up, levels before it was called levels. It was a part of our experience.
That's this Saturday, 10 p.m. CVM TV.
Don't go sell your soul.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Yeah, so it's no secret the corporations in the United States and right around the world, the big ones, they love nothing more than cash. And whatever it is that causes them to lose cash will be a problem for them. So the effort today, No Spend Day, this economic blackout, can it sustain and can it have the real effect of hurting these big corporations at the bottom line, forcing them to do the right thing by reinstating the DEI programs that they have shut down? It's a conversation I'm having today with two ladies, Ramon Gordon and Carmita Albaros. Ladies of course, strong Jamaican connections, and they're living, of course, in the United States. Good evening, ladies.
Good evening. Nice to be with you.
Excellent, excellent. A pleasure. It's my pleasure. I flipped a coin and it landed on Sharon. Let me start with you, Sharon. Today, what did you do and why did you do it?
Well, today I am still where I spent the day, in a Black-owned hair salon. Shout out to my daughter-in-law and to Leslie, who did my hair today. I purposely chose to pamper myself today at a hair salon in New Jersey, yes, where we are, and nothing else was done. Didn't buy any gas, didn't do anything else but to drive here and spend the day here getting my black hair done by black folks. Mm-hmm.
And why did you do it, Sharon? Why do this today?
I wanted to, so when it first came out that this was happening, I knew that I wanted to do something significant. And I also wanted to do something for me. Because a lot of times when we do these type of things, we're not doing for ourselves, if you know what I mean. And so I said, let me pamper myself today on a day when I'm making a statement like this. And that's the reason behind that. And I thought it was the best way to get my hair done and to be pampered. As we know, as sisters, we like to get pampered and look good.
Of
even
course.
When we're being revolutionaries.
Absolutely so. Carmita, may I ask about your day and what action you took, if any, and then why you took that action?
Okay. Well, the action that I took was to make sure that the word got out that we should not be spending $1, not a dime was supposed to be spent today, because we had to send a message. I, of course, was in my office in Harlem with my workers doing my work for my folks, many of them facing years in prison. And so the work that I do is trying to save them from long prison terms. So that is what I was doing today. But as I said, I made sure that my friends and my colleagues be reminded that this is a day that we're going to show them the power of the purse.
Yep.
As I watch these things unfold, ladies, Carmita and Sharon, I say to myself, I wouldn't have expected that it would have been so easy to reverse the gains made to instate DEI programs and DEI considerations as these folks who've come into office with the Trump election have made it seem. I never knew. I thought those programs, that kind of thinking, had deep roots, Sharon. I never knew it would have been so easy to put us back to square one.
But go ahead, Carmita.
No, and that is the sad thing. Mm-hmm. That this has been able to be done by a bully who has threatened so many people if he does not get what he wants. Sadly, people have folded, but we have to show them their loss when they kick out qualified minorities out of jobs and replace these jobs with mediocrity is what is going to be there. And the thing about it is this, they're going to suffer.
Oh, yes.
Because that is what is going to happen. Because that is what it's all about. It's racism. And we have gained too much. We have gone too far, and we have got to roll it back. And that is what he came in with, his agenda with the MAGA folks. That is what they came in with. The sad thing is that we are all going to suffer because of it. We are all going to suffer because of it, but they are going to learn from what we are going to be doing now and into the future when we show them that we have power because we have the purse.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to be
Yes.
doing.
Sharon?
And to add to what Carmita is saying, absolutely so. I must tell you that not only, I push back on the whole notion that people think that, wow, it took them, it happened so quickly. Please understand that we kept telling them about Project 2025. Folks listening, they had put it out there. And when a person shows you who they are and tell you who they are, you should believe them. They put it out there and we warned them. We tried to warn them. And folks just didn't really, I would say, really understand what was coming. So here we are now. We have to show them. And that's what we're doing. And I can guarantee you, just what Carmita said, folks have been sending out reminders. This is a concerted effort. We're going to show them how serious we are. We're going to hurt them in the pocket because that's the only place, that's the only thing they respect. And I must tell you that there are more of us who are supporting this effort than they are them, because the minority in this country are the billionaires who are trying to hold us, the majority, hostage through these draconian and very these steps that they're taking to roll back these advances that we have made is not only pernicious, it's just absolutely It's a heinous crime.
Question before the break, Sharon. Question before the break. Is it just, and pardon me if I sound removed from the issue, you are there, both of you are there. So it's a question for from someone not there to two people who are there. Is it only black people who have joined in solidarity to recognize No Spend Day and to say they are serious about sustaining No Spend Day?
Oh, no.
Not, of course not.
No.
From all walks of life.
All walks of life.
Yes.
You'd be surprised.
They are joining this effort because you know something? They know that they need us.
Yes.
They know that for us to have the economic growth that the United States has had, it was dependent on our backs.
Yes. So it's a concerted effort by many groups.
Hear you on that. Hold a point. Gonna come back after this break. This is Lead Story, talking to two diasporans about the motivation for them to boycott big corporations on this day. And they say it is in protest at the what has happened to DEI programs in these corporations and the blatant racism in many respects. And they say that if you hurt them in their pockets, that's the only place they'll feel it, and good sense will prevail after the pain sets in. Much more on Lead Story after this.
Join my private room. Only $1,000 for a grand time.
That I know me. We never said that. But who go and believe me?
That is correct. $4,350,000. Yes, go ahead. $4 million? I never approved that.
Yes, me go doctor tomorrow. So me have to get the money today, no longer. Then no me face that. We never make no record or beg nobody no money.
Deepfakes are AI-generated images and videos made to look and sound like people we know and trust. They're used to spread misinformation, destroy reputations, and are used to commit fraud and scams.
Don't fall victim to deepfakes. Protect yourself. For more information, visit broadcastingcommission.org or scan the QR code on screen.
AnyBet is Jamaica's premier company for in-person or online betting in Jamaica, with more than 40 locations nationwide. Enjoy more games, more bets, and more winnings at anybet.com, with access to the widest range of products to place your bets, including football, cricket, dog racing, and a host of exciting instant games that offer some of the best odds available. Chances are there's an AnyBet location near you. Must be 18 years and older. AnyBet, your best bet.
If you do not want a diverse workplace, then you do not deserve a diverse consumer base. We need to follow in the examples, teachings, and legacies of those who came before us. Economically boycott companies that are against diversity and inclusion for all.
Good morning, everyone. It is February 28th, which is a Friday, and I am participating, like many of you probably are, in the economic blackout. And I'm not buying anything today, no coffee, no groceries, nothing from Amazon. And I wanted to say, the minute Trump was elected, I went on my own personal economic boycott. I have not bought anything other than what is necessary since November. And I'll tell you why. One is because I feel like my country's been making some bad choices lately, and my pocketbook is one place where I can, basically vote with your pocketbook. But even if you all think this is silly, this isn't going to work, what does it matter? I also wanted to let you know the other thing that's been in the back of my mind, which is every single dollar you don't spend is an act of self-preservation. And I'll tell you,
yeah, every single dollar you don't spend is an act of self-preservation. It's an act of protest. Welcoming back Sharon Gordon and Carmita Albaros to the conversation. Ladies, I want to put something to you, because many people looking on will say, okay, but why is this movement gathering around this issue and trying to get America to change its perspective when the Trump administration, well, Trump specifically, was voted in fairly and squarely by the majority of Americans who went to cast their votes.
That's if you agree with that.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, ladies. Let me set out the question. It's not my view. I'm telling you what they are saying. Again.
They're saying that, but it's not a majority.
Again. Well. He got more votes than Kamala did. So they'll say to you, what Trump is doing is delivering what America really wants. So why are you pushing back? I put that to both of you for response.
Okay, well, let me address that.
Yes.
One of the things I think that, and Sharon had said this, that he said what he was going to do. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, a lot of people felt that he was not going to do that. He was just talking.
Right.
That is what a lot of people thought. So people are now in shock.
Yes.
That he's really doing the things that he said he was going to do, because they said nowhere in God's name can he do the things that he was saying that he was going to do. Mm-hmm. You understand? They felt that this democracy was too strong for this strong man, this wannabe strong man, to come in and erase what we have. They thought that. And because, he was able to say, listen, the economy is bad, the economy is bad. And of course, inflation was up, but we understand why. But they were not listening to that. And so now they realize just how bad things are going to be when they are losing their jobs. They're going to be losing their homes. They're going to be losing their lives because of who he has, taken care of our health. So, people say they deserve it, but I do not think they thought that it would have gone the way it.
Yeah. Sharon, your perspective?
I totally echo everything Carmita is saying, and even take it a step further. There's a phrase that we've been using around here, and I know we're on TV, so I have to be mindful, especially Jamaica television, but people can look it up. It's FAFO. Go look it up. But they already FA'd. Now we're in the FO state of things. And I can tell you, Carmita will tell you, a lot of these people, the low information voters, the more illiterate folks are the ones who jumped on that bandwagon, because those are the ones that he was able to con and then Vince, right? Con being the operative word. They didn't think that this applied to them. They didn't think that this would apply to their families. Well, guess what? Up in Appalachia and down in places like Florida, where we have these seniors, these are the people who are being affected right now. Medicare, Social Security, their what do you call it? The cost of their drugs, their housing. I can keep going. Military folks who thought that they were secure with all their benefits. Well, guess what? All of that is being ripped right from under them. So we can point to different sectors and we can show you how. And by the way, the price of eggs, has it gone down really now? So guess what? We're Jamaicans and we can eat sardine and we can eat butter. We can eat dumpling and butter. Yes. We can burn our belly. We can drink bush tea. We can manage. Like I said, they did not think this was going to apply to them.
So, Carmita, is it a real thing that you are saying that many Trump voters are having buyer's remorse?
Oh my goodness, they have been wholly for buyer's remorse. You know what happened? Because the migrants were building the homes.
Yes.
They were tilling the farm. Yes. And now they're not coming out to work. And so they have to be closing down their businesses. So there's a whole lot of buyer's remorse. And that is why this movement, of no, we're not spending, that's why it is taking such force, because so many people are feeling the effect of what is going on.
Yeah.
So even if they believe in DEI and don't believe in DEI, the fact that their pockets, their homes, their livelihood has been affected right now, they are coming with this movement, because we are showing that it was all about greed.
Yeah.
It was all about corporate greed.
Yeah.
You understand? I recognize that.
Sharon, usually in situations like these, people hunker down and wait for the worst of the storm to pass, and then they emerge. It's almost as if people don't believe that this storm will abate, so they are doing something now to affect the intensity of the weather. Am I reading it correctly by saying that?
But that's exactly what is happening. And not only this movement is galvanizing. I'll have you know, we have a lot of quote unquote, there's a myth about welfare recipients in this country, for example. And so there's a myth that the welfare recipient looks like me, looks like Carmita, and looks like you. Well, guess what? Bingo, they don't. And so those folks over there, some of them lost there were special funding that was put in to help offset the cost of electricity in certain very poor states.
Yes.
Gone. There were funding that was in place to offset SNAP benefits, which is for women with children, you know, so it's their food stamps and their health coverage and all those little things. Gone. And guess what? Guess who those folks are? Ooh, the trailer park folks. The folks living in some of the poorest states. The schools aren't getting any funding because you know that they're moving to defund all of that. I wonder what's going to happen with those poor folks. Because guess what? They FA'd and now they're FOing.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what happened.
And look, you know the situation is sad because across the Atlantic there's a cutback on international aid. And I know that it's different purposes, but in the UK, Starmer is slashing the international aid budget by the biggest quantum since 1960 to fund the Ukraine issue. And I know, of course, there was a disgraceful exchange in the White House today, but that's another story for another time. And here, the US, the last question I'm asking is this, and it's only 20 seconds I have. So this money that is being saved right around the US by doing these cuts, what is it going to be used to fund? Who is it going to benefit?
Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Peter Thiel. Am I missing out anybody, Carmita?
Yes.
Those are the folks.
The tax cuts for the wealthy. That's what is going to be
for the wealthy. That's what this is. It's a money grab for them.
I hear you, ladies. I really enjoyed this conversation. I wish I had another hour. But thank you very much for your time, Carmita. Thank you, Sharon. All the best to you.
Invite us back. We'll come back. We love this. This
Excellent.
is what we're up about. Thank you.
Excellent. You're welcome. You're welcome. Two Jamaicans in the diaspora talking about No Spend Day, and they are motivated. They say the movement is galvanizing, and it's not just going to be a one-day wonder. They are hell-bent on pushing back against the unfairness of what is happening in the United States. I make way for Curlin Brown with the news at 7.
Thank you, ladies.
All right.
I'll be in touch.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Bye.
I found Nigel to be a very reserved person. It's certainly not the Nigel you see today.
I was terrified when I went to Monroe. I have a lot of respect and regard for him. I will actually miss him.
Brilliant. Definitely one of the brightest minds that Jamaica has ever produced.
Not many people would take on this challenge.
So he made the job of Epoch quite easy.
I was president of the Jamaica Chess Federation when I met Dr. Clark at this tournament. Immediately, he impressed me as someone with tremendous possibility.
I found him to be very probing, very thorough, sort of data-driven, respected analysis.
That was very strong artistic sense to me, to who I am as a person.
But who is Nigel Clark?
There is great music being made in Jamaica. It is always good to support the right energy, and we give thanks that this will continue and we will always support it.
It is a pleasure to support the culture works.
culture works. From Trenchtown we take it. I know a reggae mountain. One drop, one of a kind. Say I coulda never dollar kind.
Energetic leaders. In Jamaica, sunrise. So in Jamaica, sunrise.
So don't wait. Call us on 658-208-5377 and see your business goals happen right here on CVM television.
You can open a Sagicor Bank savings account from anywhere. Go online and open yours today.
The time by Sagicor Bank is
7 o'clock. Tonight in CVM News at 7, Electoral Commission of Jamaica, the ECJ, raises red flags over proposed boundaries for Jamaica's 15th parish. PM tours Resilience Park in Portmore, and JUTC addresses concerns over new smartfare system. The business report explores culture and capital with Kingston creatives, while traditional flavors gets fired up for peanuts. And in sports, the race is on in our Friday feature, The Winner's Edge. Hello from Kingston, Jamaica. This is CVM News at 7. It's Friday, February 28, 2025. Thanks for joining us. I'm Carolyn Brown. Despite concerns over constitutionality, the government used its supermajority in the Upper House to formalize a bill making Portmore Jamaica's 15th parish. However, it didn't go over without opposition pushback, with claims of gerrymandering still fresh and persistent. Here's Ramon Gordon with the latest.
In a letter to Parliament earlier this month, ECJ Chairman Earl Jarrett pointed out that the planned boundary may interfere with existing constituency lines. Opposition Senator Peter Bunting read openly from the missive in the Upper House Friday, where the bill to formalise Portmore's parish status was up for debate.
The Commission advised the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry that the proposed boundary for the parish of Portmore will impact 4 constituencies, 13 electoral divisions, and 398 polling divisions from the parish of St. Catherine.
The 4 constituencies mentioned are St. Catherine South Eastern, St. Catherine East Central, St. Catherine Southern, and St. Catherine South Central.
If a constituency is shared by 2 parishes, that intersection is illegal.
The ECJ first brought its concerns to the attention of the local government ministry in June 2024, but it appears no adjustments were made before the bill was passed in the lower house earlier this month.
The June 18th letter. And what I find concerning to me, the letter is written as a without prejudice letter. And the person, having written it without prejudice, would not wish for it to be used in a certain place.
The proposal has been a point of contention, with the government arguing it reflects the will of Portmore residents, while the opposition claims it's a case of political gerrymandering. The government came prepared to counter.
Senator Peter Bunting, speaking at a political rally for Senator Janice Allen, among other things, said, in relation to the creation of the St. James Central seat, said, and it was cut to be, well, from my perspective anyway, a People's National Party seat. What? Is that how we cut seats?
I've audacity to the lectures on gerrymandering.
The government maintains the move is for development and that due consultation was had with parish stakeholders. However, skepticism lingers.
Within 6 months of a general election, within 6 months of when a general election is due, we are suddenly rushing to pass these bills.
Ramon Gordon for CVM News.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister and a team toured the development of the Resilience Park taking place in Portmore. Adrian Williams picks up that development.
With much development expected in Portmore, St. Catherine, the Portmore Resilience Park is one such project. Prime Minister Andrew Holness toured the space along with officials and engineers from the Urban Development Corporation, UDC.
Truth is that we have had Emancipation Park, we built the Harmony Park, and now we're building the Resilience Park. These parks are all named for important values of our country: harmony and resilience.
And how were the funds sought for this development? Holness highlighted that it's through the UDC's divestment of resources.
The UDC is using its tremendous technical and engineering and architectural resources to develop and manage projects like these, which are partially funded from the consolidated fund, but importantly, funded from its own internal resources. And where are these resources coming from? They're coming from revenues, from attractions and other businesses that they operate, but it is also coming from the divestment of resources.
He reiterated that Portmore has built an economy for itself and has legs to stand firm in making its parish status noteworthy.
The commitment we make is that all parishes in Jamaica will have a parish park. So Portmore, which will become the newest parish for Jamaica, this will be its parish park.
The project is expected to be completed by September of this year. Adrian Williams reporting for CVM News.
Elsewhere now, schools in Trelawny are feeling the strain as rapid urban development outpaces infrastructural. With more housing and commercial projects emerging, stakeholders are calling for more consideration in planning to ensure communities can handle the growing population. Courtney Lewis now has more.
Schools in Trelawny are paying the price for urban development. Education stakeholder Linvern Wright says there must be greater consideration for existing parish infrastructure as the population increases.
I know at my school at William, we have 50% of the population coming from St. James. So it's serving St. James and serving Trelawny. But the population in Trelawny seems to be, at least in this part of the parish, seems to be far more than the capacity of schools to handle.
His concern doesn't end there. As a resident, he laments the condition of other parish facilities.
Have a number of buildings being put up in Falmouth now. Where is the parking? Where are the roads to transport people on the day? If it is that there is some kind of tragedy, an ambulance passing through is a problem. We don't have enough lanes for those kinds of things to happen.
North Trelawny caretaker Wickham McNeil a few weeks ago made a call for inclusivity in urban development plans.
These developments, you need to have consultation as you go along, so persons know what is happening and can find a way to become part of it if they so desire.
Now Wright is making a similar call, urging local authorities to understand development at a grassroots level.
So we're just asking for some vision and some thought when we're dealing with development, because it's not just about housing. It is about roads, it's about schools, it's about hospitals, it's about playing areas, it's about parks. We have these areas, we have nothing like that. Many people are here now where, for example, do we have something like an entertainment space where somebody can go and sit and watch a play? Those are things that I think we need to pay some attention to, and I really hope that the powers that be consider these things.
Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
Commuters are raising concerns about JUTC's new smartfare card system. Among the issues now being raised is their ability to check their balances. Authorities, however, have stepped in, providing reassurance. With more, here's Shantae McNeil.
The Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, is responding to commuter concerns over its new smartfare card system. Unlike the previous Smarter card, which displayed balances on bus tickets, the new system does not allow passengers to check their funds in real time, raising worries about unexpected declines. JUTC's corporate communications manager, Chantal Thompson, says steps are being taken to resolve the issue.
One, we've installed kiosks at all 4 of our locations. So the downtown ticket office, the Greater Portmore ticket office, the Spanish Town lay-by, and the halfway tree transport center. So you could go, you tap your card and it gives you your balance. Additionally, when you visit any authorized smartfare top-up merchants, you'll be able to check your balance. And coming soon, there will be an app that facilitates checking your balance as well.
In a recent statement, JUTC assured passengers that if their cards decline due to low balances, they won't be denied access. Instead, the fare will be recorded and deducted at their next top-up. However, some commuters fear potential discrepancies. Thompson says safeguards are in place to dispute any errors.
As you know, no system is 100% when it comes to technology. With that being said, we have our technical teams on standby in the event of an issue. Our drivers or dispatchers and our customer care agents are trained to handle the matters as well. So we've been getting the comments, we've been getting the feedback, we've been getting the call, and we have been hands-on with answering them. We have been hands-on with dealing with the issue immediately.
JUTC is set to officially launch its Ride Right with Smartfare campaign on March 4, promoting safer commuting habits and enhance safe training to better assist passengers with disabilities. Beyond the campaign, more bus routes are also expected to roll out in Maypen, Negril, and Montego Bay later this year. Shante McNeil, CVM News.
The Office of the Information Commissioner, the OIC, released a statement on Friday responding to public concerns around an assessment listed in the revised Data Protection Act. While subsection 45 of the Act requires data controllers to submit an annual data protection impact assessment at the end of each calendar year, the OIC, in clarifying the concerns, explains the section governing the submission of assessments has not yet taken effect. Additionally, the enforcement section has not yet been brought into operation. It therefore reminds no assessment will be required for March 31. The agency also says the aim is to make the process a simple and convenient one. Do stay with us. CVM News at 7 will continue right after this.
Do it for your best life. Go check your HIV status. So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me, I tell yourself, do it for you, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom. Coulda husband, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan. Do it for your best life. Do it for your best life. Don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life.
Pepperoni, Hawaiian, chicken chunks, vegetarian. There's no pressure to choose with Pizza Hut's amazing 4. You get 4 juicy flavors with one less choice to make. Pizza Hut, now that's delivery.
There is great music being made in Jamaica. It is always good to support the right energy, and we stand that this will continue and we will always support it.
It is our pleasure to support the culture works.
Our culture works. From Trenchtown we take it. I know a reggae mountain. One drop, one of a kind. Say I coulda never dollar kind.
Energetically, there are spaces in this earth where you go there and your nervous system reacts very positively. And this mountain is such a space.
Strive with those that strive with me.
It's just history. It's how we grew up, you know what I mean? And
Levels, before it was called Levels, it was a part of our experience.
That's this Saturday, 10 p.m. CVM TV.
Don't go sell your soul.
Back now as calls come for a general election, the Jamaica Labour Party says it remains composed and will not be pressured into calling an early election. The party recently met with supporters in West Rural St Andrew to highlight the constituency's achievements and give the assurance the party is ready for the big day. Trisha Kelly has that story.
The West Rural St Andrew constituency seems to be one that will be heavily fought by the two main political parties, both holding public meetings there, the PNP on Sunday and the JLP by Thursday. JLP members trying to secure a third term for the incumbent Juliet Cuthbert Flynn highlighted what they say are the achievements of the current government, with promises of more to come. Marlon Morgan, member of the party's communications task force, said the government has put in the work and it's time to reap the rewards.
You have some people run up and down the place that call for early election. Them a move like when Fowler look loose. But I have a word. In the words of Garnet Silk, we have a simple message to send to those guys. We've got a lot more coming.
Let them talk, keep them talking.
Love your labor.
Hey, we're gonna keep them talking.
His remarks followed the PNP's constant call for general elections, expressing its own state of readiness.
People's National Party time. We're ready. And I say to Andrew, call it election.
But while the opposition says it's ready, the JLP has accused the party of spreading misinformation in an attempt to get ahead. However, Justice Minister Delroy Jutc said the PNP is in for a treat in months to come.
The PNP will be totally defeated. And you know why they'll be totally defeated? They have nothing to offer Jamaica. All they've been doing for the last couple of years is to misinform, lie, propagandize, and laborize. They can't stop lying,
Nevertheless, JLP members remain confident in their party leader, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who is looking to secure a third term.
Our anthem that says, give us vision lest we perish. The Jamaica Labour Party is the party of vision, and we will not perish, but we will flourish. And any other party want to run in any other election is a party that lacks vision and will cause Jamaicans to perish. So come, anytime, bro, God said.
General elections are due by the latest September this year. Trisha Kelly, CVM News.
Westmoreland Central MP George Wright isn't escaping the controversy that led to his 2021 resignation from the JLP. And with general election looming, the People's National Party rallies its supporters. Shante McNeil has more.
The Jamaica Labour Party continues to face strong criticisms for its recent reinstatement of embattled Member of Parliament for Westmoreland Central, George Wright. The latest backlash came from People's National Party President Mark Golding, who says the lack of public remorse from Wright following allegations of domestic abuse, which led to his 2021 resignation, doesn't make him an appropriate figure to represent the people in the next election.
It's a bad example to be setting for somebody who has not gone through any form of penance, just what I would call a sham removal from the JLP, because in Parliament he voted with them on every single vote that they ever had. So he was clearly with them all along. So that whole thing was a charade. And we don't think the people of Westmoreland should be fooled by this. I think they should take a principled position and not support somebody who is in that situation.
Golding made the remarks while touring Westmoreland, where he endorsed the former MP Dwayne Vaz for a rematch with Wright. While acknowledging the tough road ahead, Golding remains confident in Vaz's ability to reclaim the constituency.
We're not complacent. We don't take anything for granted when it comes to this election and politics, because we know we're up against a an opponent that is in government, has the resources of government behind them, and they're very, very desperate to stay in power. So it requires a lot of hard work on the ground, good organization, and the commitment of our supporters to make sure that Jamaica gets the change that they really want.
The tour marks another stop in Golding's Western campaign push, with Hanover also being a recent focus. Confident in his party's position, he says the PNP is ready to secure victory. Val, surprised by Wright in 2020, says he's more prepared 5 years later.
Well, the crowd keeps us going, and it motivates us every day just to work harder. So we'll continue pushing on. You've seen me on the road for the last couple of months, and we'll continue until they come. We won't stop. We'll continue pushing on for the People's National Party because we know what we're fighting for, and we're fighting for justice for the people of Jamaica.
Shante McNeil, CVM News.
The dry season is making things much more difficult for farmers who are already battling irrigation challenges. But the farmers remain hopeful as they are still reaping better results than last year. Trisha Kelly has that story.
The dry season is not yet in full swing, but it's already impacting farmers and their produce. Currently, most farmers rely on rainfall to water their plants as they have no access to irrigation. And though the farmers say they are aware that the Ministry of Agriculture is working on irrigation systems, in the interim, they must locate alternative water sources. It remains a challenge.
To spray the plant itself, every Wednesday we do spray. So we spray for approximately 7 to 8 weeks, but I have to carry water from a few miles away using the pickup, right? So water is one of my main concerns for spray the Irish field.
Thankfully, what rains there are have been welcomed by farmers like Mr. Gold, who says this year is an improvement on previous years.
Can see the quality. We don't see nothing like this last year and the year before because of the drought. So we have a good season this year.
The weather has been excellent. I originally started late and I was very, very scared, but the Almighty has blessed us constantly with good shower and adequate sunshine, so I expect to get a bountiful harvest this year.
Irish production is one of the largest in the sector. That's according to Agriculture Minister Floyd Green. He says it plays a huge role in food security, and as such, the ministry must assist farmers as much as possible.
We are looking for an irrigation system for Hindstown, and we've started a preliminary work. We're looking at some of the wells that used to be used by the old bauxite company to see if they can provide the sort of production, water production that we need to actually have a pipe system that goes to those farmers. I think once we do that, then the farmers will be able to expand, the farmers will put in more, and they'll get greater return.
Minister Green assures there are additional plans in store for farmers as the government works on making financial resources available.
You know, we consistently have to see how we can provide more support, and part of it also means how can we ensure that our farmers have more access to capital, right, so that they don't have to depend on their own capital to expand their enterprise. And that's one of the things that the Prime Minister is working on. We do expect that in this budget cycle he would speak to that, because at the end of the day, more farmers would put in more if they could get other capital sources to expand.
The ministry has provided a temporary solution, catchment ponds, where farmers can store excess water for times ahead. Trisha Kelly, CVM News.
Let's put news on pause for a quick minute to find out from Ronaldo Adams what's coming up in sports. Hey,
Carolyn. Thank you. Nice to see you. So, this evening, Sportscast, we are going to preview the matches coming up this Sunday in the Ray and Nephew Jamaica Premier League. We will also be looking at, well, unfortunately, the Jamaica women lost to Barbados in the regional Super 50 by 54 runs. Also, it is Friday, so we'll have the winner's edge with Rohan Daly.
That and more coming up in sports. Stay where you are. We'll take a short break, but we'll be right back to continue with news.
There is great music being made in Jamaica. It is always good to support the right energy, and we give thanks that this will continue and we will always support it.
It is our pleasure to support the culture works.
Our culture works. From Trenchtown we take it. I know a reggae mountain. One drop, one of a kind. Say I coulda never dollar kind.
Energetically, there are spaces in this earth where you go there and your nervous system reacts very positively. And this mountain is such a space.
Strive with those that strive with me.
It's just history. It's how we grew up, you know, and levels, before it was called levels, you know, it was a part of our experience.
That's this Saturday, 10 p.m. CVM TV.
Don't go sell your soul.
Reggae is global. Reggae is everywhere.
Yeah, reggae is my life, you know, because if I reggae, I don't shop, I don't walk out thing there or something.
We have something which the world crave even right now. Reggae is internationally known.
I am a Jamaican.
Thanks for staying with us. Time now for the business report with Joel Crosskill.
Lots to share with you in the business report today about how the curation of lanes available for capital's development has left an indelible mark on the waterfront of Kingston and Jamaica's cultural economy, courtesies of the bespoke innovations of Kingston Creative and its co-founder.
Hi, my name is Andrea Dempster-Chung and I'm the co-founder and executive director of Kingston Creative. Kingston Creative is an arts NGO, so we're a non-profit organization that focuses on empowering artists, cultural practitioners, creative entrepreneurs, just generally all types of creative people. And what we're trying to do is to unlock the raw talent that Jamaica has and convert it into creative economy growth, making sure that we have a transformed downtown, an amazing art district where commerce and creativity can thrive.
An aesthetic that appeals to the eye of the passer-by. Dempster-Chung traced the outlines of inspiration for the NGO that for almost a decade has sustained the relief efforts and trained increased focus on the renaissance of Kingston's commercial district with cultural commodities as its muse.
So phase one of what we did was really starting the downtown Kingston Art District with the murals. We started painting murals on the back of Water Lane and the back of what we call Swiss Stores building. And that started with just a few cans of paint, a few artists, and we did a mural. The first mural was by Bernard Hoyes. And so that was phase one, really starting to have our meetups, our murals, and small art walks, walking from our cultural location to cultural location in downtown every last Sunday. So that was our first phase of the work. We're celebrating our 8th anniversary in February, so we're really excited about that. And it's been really 8 years of impact, over 160 murals, thousands of creative trained throughout the years. And so we've really been focusing on both the upfront art district, very visible festivals and murals and activations, but also the business of creativity, ensuring that our creatives have a space, an amazing co-working space, artist studios, podcast studios, space to create, as well as have the training and skills that they need, particularly digital skills, and of course, skills to reach their markets abroad.
And to critical acclaim.
I'm happy to share that in December, we won Best Attraction from Jamaicans.com. So that was very prestigious. It's a diaspora award, and we collected that in Miami, Florida. And then the year before, we actually won World's Best Creative Destination. Now that was collected by our Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Ed Bartlett at the ITB in Berlin. And so that was quite a feather in the cap for downtown Kingston and for our little art district that has just started.
As Dempster-Chung reveals, the performance that has attracted international accolade are expected to be further advanced by phase 2 of the Kingston Creative's strategic plans.
So last year, the second phase really started, and this is where we said, we need to take this art district to the next level. So it can't just be pretty pictures on the walls and murals. We have to have shading, we have to have seating, we have to have lighting, we have to have signage. Visitors have started to come. Where are the garbage bins? Where's the recycling? So we started to focus on the practical infrastructure elements that every world-class art district the world over needs to have. And again, Joel, the art district is really not just about people enjoying art. The art district is a way to create commerce.
We'll be circling the block for a closer immersion in Phase 2 in Part 2 of this business report. I'm Joel Crosskill.
Still more to come in a moment.
Whatever the crunch you want with KFC's popcorn chicken. Now available in hot and spicy. KFC, it's finger licking good. The time by KFC is
7:30.
Sports should be fun. Sports should be interesting. Sports should be entertaining. Sports should be riveting. This is CVM Sports. I'm Jordan Fort.
Welcome back to CVM News at 7. It's time for what's happening on the social media landscape.
So, what's getting noticed online today? Jamaica, Jamaica. Today is Jamaica Day, and Jamaicans at home and abroad are gearing up to celebrate the island's rich heritage and culture. Here are some of your reactions. At Auntie Hirsch asks, how much Jamaica Day we have? At Sue Bella C writes, makes note that February 28th is Jamaica Day, so when it's Jamaica Day again in 2 months' time, I know I'm not crazy to think every other month has a Jamaica Day. At Tony Garrison JM replies, it's only one Jamaica Day, but there is a Heritage Day later in the year that inevitably also becomes Jamaica Day in how we celebrate it. At Jacob JA says, every day is Jamaica Day when you live in Jamaica. At Anna K. Rose posts, love seeing the Jamaica Day pics with the kiddies out in their colors. At Gentle M876 comments, happy Jamaica Day to all Jamaicans yard and abroad. Prime Minister Andrew Holness shares, happy Jamaica Day. Today we celebrate everything that makes us Jamaican, our culture, our strength, and our unstoppable spirit. And that's what's trending online today. Continue to share your thoughts with us on X at CVM TV and CVM Television on Facebook. I'm Courtney Lewis. Happy Jamaica Day!
And keeping the Jamaica Day vibes, for this traditional flavors, we add real Jamaican heat to a hearty conversation, an icebreaker. Everyone loves a good lime with good friends cracking nuts.
So
I see you're washing limes.
Yes. Well, the limes, actually in the product what we use is lime powder made from real lime. Now, the lime itself, if you use a lime, kind of gives it a kind of bitterish taste. So that is why we use the powder.
So the rind takes away from the natural taste of the lime?
Yes, it kind of.
It's only good for lemonade.
Yes, it is. But the lime flavored peanuts in itself, you don't want it to be too wet. And in the peanut powder, that allows it not to have too much moisture on it. In the peanut butter, you can have that moisture because the moisture.
So you add lime flavor to the peanut butter too?
Yes, I do. And this is what you actually get. Lime flavored peanut butter.
What else you add to that though?
Honey and some other ingredients. If I were to tell you, you'd have to stay here and work with me. You couldn't go back home. My secret ingredients.
But your speciality happens to be peanuts.
Yes, lime flavored peanuts. I have Scotch bonnet flavored peanuts, coffee flavored peanuts, and black coffee flavored peanuts.